Talk to financial expert Hilary Salt, who is in Manchester, the capital of the north, some might say. Hilary, I'm tempted to say 'twas ever thus, because there's always been this north-south divide. But this report is suggesting it's getting worse.
Yeah, if we look at the net tax rates paid by region, so that's the total tax paid divided by total revenue. The amount paid by London, I say London when I mean London, the south east, really. The amount paid by London is about 2/3 of what is paid in the rest of the UK. But that gap has widened quite a lot over the past 2 decades. And I'd say there's 3 broad reasons for that if you're looking at the tax side of the equation. First is that income is taxed at higher rates than capital gains, and there are more capital gains made in London than the rest of the UK. The second is that non-work income has more advantageous tax treatment. So, for example, dividends and income from rental properties are not subject to national insurance. And the third is that people in London pay far lower levels of council tax as a proportion of the value of their property than the people in the rest of the UK. So this IPPR report that you just mentioned says that the amounts paid in London are less than half those paid in the North East.
Explain why people with properties in London, which are traditionally much more expensive than properties in the north, why are they paying less council tax?
Well, I remember that council tax is banded, so once you get to a certain level, you don't pay any more council tax, no matter how much a house is worth. Also, remember that the levels of value placed on properties for council tax purposes were set about 30 years ago now. So some properties in some parts of the UK have increased by much more than other parts. So if we rebanded everywhere, that would imply more council tax being paid in London.
I mean, Northerners might be earning less and might have less savings, I think, but also things are cheaper up north, Hilary, aren't they? I noticed that when I go home to Manchester and it's the usual, the example we always use is a coffee. I can pay nearly £5 for a coffee in a cafe down here. Up north, people would keel over if you charge them nearly £3. So things are cheaper up north, aren't they?
They are, but I think that kind of points to the other half of this equation, because I think the real problem here that this points to is the fact that there is no productive economy. There's not enough productive economy outside of London. So the total income for per person in London, all people, not just workers, is about £24,000, whereas in the North East it's about £11,000. And I think what that points to is the fact that, the other way to solve this problem is to increase incomes and increase the productive economy in the north. And that's what I think we really need to do. It's not just tinkering with taxation that will solve this problem. It's making a real difference to the economy.
Hilary,
we've got to tell you, your dog has just played a starring role here.
You've got a very extrovert dog there, Hilary. Who's that?
This is Friday.
Does she not know it's Thursday? Well, she was made a very welcome addition to the programme. Hilary, lovely to talk to you. That's Hilary Salt.
Thank you.